Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. So I wanted to do a Q&A today. I was supposed to do one on Wednesday, but yeah, I'm sure you guys have noticed I've taken like the last week off. So I'm going to do one today, and then I will resume doing my Q&As again on Wednesday next week. So yeah, thank you guys so much for posting all of your questions. Again, if you want to take part in these Q&As, definitely go follow me on Discord. The link should be down below. The server name is Appetite for the Dead. It's a lot of fun doing these. I have a lot of fun talking with you guys on all this. Now, this video, at least in terms of the Q&A anyways, will contain spoilers for The Walking Dead and stuff with like fear and all of that, but won't contain spoilers for Spider-Man No Way Home. I know you probably see Spider-Man No Way Home in the title or something related to Spider-Man in the title. Don't worry, this won't contain spoilers for the movie. There's questions in here about the movie and stuff and kind of the future and stuff, but I'll talk about that in a non-spoiler way. I literally won't hint at anything related to just anything that happens in the movie. So yeah, but let's jump into this Q&A here. So first question here from Beanie. Would you say that the new Spider-Man movie was better than Venom 2? Oh yeah, definitely. I wasn't a fan of Venom 2 at all. There's a lot of aspects I like about, I guess, the movie in some sense, but I'm not a fan of that Venom character. Like really, I'm not a fan of, I like Tom Hardy as an actor. He's such an incredible actor. I just feel bad that he's in the Sonyverse. I really do. I wish that in some way he was able to, I don't know, you kind of have to rewrite everything, but this Venom is just this Venom. And I think this is basically confirmation here that these characters, the Sonyverse characters, aren't going to be involved in these movies, really. Like, I know they're going to have more Morbius next month or whatever, but like, I don't think Morbius is going to be that big, and I think all their future stories that they had planned are definitely not going to be that great. But I will say, like, they do need to start saving these villains, I think, for Marvel. I really feel like in terms of what Sony wants to do at this point, I think Sony, if anything, I guess I won't get into that, but there's other, ideas they can do with Marvel. I would say do that, and I can't really talk about it without getting into spoilers. So next question. Do you think Judith and Rick will meet in the Rick movies? Yeah, that's definitely going to happen at some point, but I also feel like, a Rick television show would just be so much better. Like, ever since we talked about that last week or the week before, it's just been on my mind the whole time. I kind of just want that over anything. So I hope that is what actually happens. I hope that if anything, the movies are canceled and we just do a television series. But then again, like, if you actually have Spider-Man do really well in the theaters, I think people are going to want to go back to the movies again. I feel like if there was any talk of a television show, it's because movies for the last like 2 years almost have been pretty depressing, pretty disappointing, right? Because they don't really achieve a lot, and people have been pretty, just in general, upset with most of the movies that have come out, in terms of like box office or like just the general, budget and like writing of movies. Because honestly, there hasn't really been anything that exciting over the last 2 years besides Spider-Man. So I think this movie could change everything, with everything, pandemic related being almost over. Like, I think next year, once we get into the summer, things will definitely be much better. And I think, at that point, we're going to slowly, I think everything should be over at that point. And I think the idea of doing movies is just going to be that much more exciting, I think. So, but yeah, I rambled on a little bit there, but to answer your question, do I think Judith and Rick will meet in the movies? Yeah, definitely. Where do the Tom Holland-led Spider-Man movies go from here? Well, I'm not going to talk about it exactly, because like, that definitely gets into spoilers, but they do set up a lot here. And I really feel like, without getting into spoilers, I feel like the Home series was more of Peter Parker's origin story. And I think that where they can go now, there's a lot of possibilities, and I think it's actually going to get way more exciting from here on out. So what content you going to do once all the Walking Dead content is finished, even if it's many years away? That's really hard to say. Like, right now I'm doing The Walking Dead, and then I'll do sort of the odd video here and there. I'm going to be doing all the Walking Dead spin-offs and stuff. That takes me until at least 2025, 2026, because there's going to be like the Daryl and Carol show starting in 2023. That could go on for at least 2 seasons, right? So that could end in 2025, maybe 3 seasons, maybe it has 5 seasons and then it's over. So that's like 2028, right? 27, 28, around there. So, it really depends on what they want to do. I see, in terms of me covering The Walking Dead, I kind of see me covering it for the rest of this decade for the most part. We'll see where we're at once we get into 2025, 2026 and stuff like that. But for the most part, yeah, a lot of Walking Dead stuff. I mean, there's going to be Last of Us next year, the year after. Lord of the Rings is a show that I really plan to cover heavily once that show actually drops. There's quite a bit of stuff to talk about. Lord of the Rings is actually something I'm very knowledgeable about, so I'm definitely going to be doing that show. Last of Us, I know quite a bit of the games and stuff. Obviously, there's only been 2 games. I have to remember the first one, but I'm sure a lot of, I feel like that's kind of self-explanatory. I think all of us know the same amount of information because there's only 2 games. So, there's a lot of things that I can definitely cover that I know a lot of you guys will watch, and I know that the views for the most part will most likely be the same as The Walking Dead in that, besides Marvel and stuff, right? Because Marvel, it's one of those things where I'll post a video here and there. It doesn't get that many views, but I don't really care because I actually really want to talk about it. I learned to let go of that so long ago. You can't, if you really want to do something, do it. Don't just be like, oh no, it doesn't get any views, it's going to be so pointless. No, just do it because you love doing it. Because it eventually, doing all this ends up not being fun because I'm just kind of catering to people. And so I prefer to really do what I want to do now. And so that's why I haven't really talked about The Walking Dead over the last week, because I was like, I don't really have anything more to say. But now I do. I have a few ideas. And so I wanted to do this Q&A. I have a Fear video that's going to be coming out. And then I also want to do another Walking Dead video. But if there's nothing to say, I'm not going to do a video on it, right? There's kind of no point. If I'm really excited about the Spider-Man movies, I'm going to do a video on that regardless of the views. So who do you think was the best Spider-Man? I still stand by Tobey Maguire, for sure. Would you rather have a Rick-centered limited series instead of the 3 movies? Yes, definitely. I've talked about that before, but definitely I would prefer a limited series because you get to spend much more time with the character. And 3 movies just feels like you would have to wrap up everything so fast. If I'm looking at the Spider-Man movie, there is such a big story there that they definitely rushed through way too much of it. And I think if that Spider-Man movie No Way Home was a 10-episode television series, man, that would be so good. So yeah. How do you think Michonne's storyline will fit in with the Rick Grimes movies? Well, I mean, her storyline is basically Rick's storyline, right? Her storyline is to find Rick. So I think it's pretty simple. I think she'll just she's looking for him, and then at some point she's obviously going to find him. Maybe she's held captive at first, or you know what I mean? There's a bunch of different scenarios you can go where maybe she's taken captive by the Civic Republic, Rick finds her, or maybe it's the opposite. Rick is held captive, Michonne finds out, and Michonne saves him, right? Or don't even use any of that at all. Maybe none of them are held captive. I mean, there's so much possibility there. Do you think the Tales of the Walking Dead series could be a potential what-if series? For example, what if certain characters never died? Yeah, that's one of those things that I wanted. That would be super cool to have, just because the possibilities really are endless with that, right? You're able to do so much. So yeah, I think that would be super cool. Credits to her question, or to her for the question, but do you think Alicia could maybe be pregnant instead of dying? If yes, how do you think that will change things? No, I don't see that. I mean, no, that would kind of come out of nowhere. It makes no sense. Alicia and Will never had that relationship. I don't think they did anything like that. So I don't see that really being a possibility. I think she likely is just kind of sick and dealing with something. And I don't think she's going to die. I think that'd actually be a pretty big shocker if she did, since Madison is returning. But she's definitely fighting something, obviously. Next question. What is your favorite zombie apocalypse / horror film? Zombie apocalypse film. You know what? I really like Night of the Living Dead. It just feels so classic. It's so hard for me to really vote against that, because it was such a good movie. Even if you watch it today, it still really holds up. In terms of my best horror film, honestly, that changes so much. I really liked The Conjuring for such a long time, mostly because of the tone, not necessarily because of the story or anything like that, but mostly the tone. But I'd have to go with The Lighthouse. The Lighthouse, I really I like right now. So how would you like to see Rick die? Shaggy, I wouldn't like to see Rick die. I hope that he never dies. I think at this point, there's kind of no point. I think that he's been around for quite a while. Unless you want to do another television show or something, and there's a few more seasons of him and we get a lot more, I say at this point, just keep him alive, right? Who, in your opinion, would you pick to die in the rest of season 11? That's interesting. I would, if I had to go with one character, you know what? And I'm going to go with the main characters mostly. I would have to say, oh no, that'd be too hard. I was going to say Daryl, but obviously they're not going to go with Daryl. I would honestly probably go with Negan. I know they're not going to, because there's so many possibilities there. like in terms of spin-offs and stuff. Like he's such a fan favorite that would, you know, they're never gonna kill that character off. It'd be like killing off Spider-Man right now. Like he's such an important character, but like I don't know, you need a character like that, I think, to kill off if you're gonna make the story really great. It's just that I'm saying that in terms of, you know, like if they're actually planning on ending everything soon, which they are not, right? So ignore my advice, because if you want to keep this going, then yeah, definitely don't kill him off. But if you were planning to wrap up the show right away, I mean, honestly, even killing Daryl off, if the spinoff wasn't happening, that'd probably be a better choice. Who do you think needs the most character development in the Walking Dead series, or who do you dislike the most as a character? I mean, it's honestly hard to say. Like that last part there, who do I dislike the most as a character? Because like the character I hated so much was Eugene, but they're writing him so much better now. So I can't really say, honestly. It's kind of hard to pick a character that, well, you know what? I will say Maggie. Maggie's been kind of frustrating as of late. So I would have to go, I think, with Maggie, because she's just been very frustrating. You know, she's gotten people killed, and I mean, I understand it, but I'd probably have to go with her. And in the first part of your question there, in terms of who needs the most character development in the series right now, I feel like, you know what, give Jerry more screen time. He is such a great actor, such a great character. He needs to lead a little bit more. We need to bring that humor a little bit more in the show, and he always has it. The fans love him. I say give him a lot more screen time. You know, I say bump him up, make him a main character. He's such a great character. You know, we don't get him a lot, but I think he definitely needs a lot more character development. Maybe he loses his wife or one of his kids or something, but like do that in terms of furthering that character's, that, you know, story. Like just, you know, like imagine what he's going to go through then, right? So I think there's so much you can do there with Jerry. I don't know why they're not. Last question here. My first time here and first on the Q&A. Love the videos up on YouTube, by the way. Thank you so much. I don't think you or anyone else has pointed this out yet, but on the board at the Commonwealth, there was a huge note saying help. What could that be about? Is there anything in the comics that could suggest anything about it? Never read the comics, you see, and stay safe and look forward to the next video. Well, you know, in terms of saying help, it most likely is just like some people saying, I lost this person, can you please help me, kind of thing. Because in the comic, nothing really happens in terms of, I mean, someone needing help in that way. The Wall of the Lost storyline is mostly just, you know, Michonne being reunited with her daughter, which sort of integrates her more with the Commonwealth. We're seeing that with Yumiko right now, right? Like Yumiko is going to very much integrate with the Commonwealth. And yeah, you know, I think that's basically it. Like there's all of these little details that Gimple sort of takes and then just like makes into a spinoff, or will make it into some aspect of the story. There, you know, like the whole Nebraska comment in season 2 was just kind of a funny meme like thing, but he actually turned it into something. So like there's a lot of little things. There was the stuff with Dr. Jenner that was kind of cool. You know, he made it into a whole new thing. But yeah, but I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you so much, you guys, for posting all of your questions. Again, if you want to take part in these Q&As, definitely go follow the Discord. But I hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.